Hello there, and welcome to Namident Academy. Today we are going to discuss about the different type of scientific or scholarship journal, or what we call the academic journal. An academic journal is also termed as a scholarly journal, and it is a periodical publication in which scholarship relating to a particular academic discipline is being published or is published. This journal serves as a permanent and transparent forum for presenting, scrutiny, and discussion of research and development in a particular academic discipline. These type of journals provide a space where researchers and academicians impart knowledge to one another and share information on development of a particular science or a particular discipline in academics. The first academic journal in history was published in January 1665, which is about 358 years ago. And this journal is Journal des Canvas. I don't know whether I pronounce it correctly. And since then, a lot of journals has been published in various academic disciplines. For the purpose of this video, we would like to look at what are the different type of journals that we have, and this can be categorized into different forms depending on different parameters. In terms of submission, there are two types of journals. First is the solicited journals, and the second is unsolicited journals. What we mean by solicited journals is when an individual is invited either directly or indirectly through a publication call to submit a paper to a particular journal. And this type of journal are basically based on a particular theme. So when there is a call and you have a paper which doesn't fall in that theme, you are not supposed to submit your paper in that call because it will be automatically rejected. So in this regard, your choice will be the unsolicited journal. The unsolicited journals is where an individual submit a manuscript for a potential publication without the journal asking for the publication directly. So for various publication and in many publication, this kind of journal is what people are publishing. You have conducted your work and you have written your manuscript and you want publication. You don't need to wait till a call for a paper is being made by a journal. So you can seek for those journals who publish unsolicited manuscript and try and publish there. The second group of journals, which it can be either the solicited or unsolicited, are based on who bear the cost of the publication. So in this regard, we have three forms of journals. First is the subscription journals. Second is the open access journal. And the third is the hybrid journal. In the journals that operate on subscription, the cost of the paper is borne by the readers in their institution. The author or the artists of this paper don't pay any money, they publish freely. And that if anybody want to read their paper, the person need to pay for this paper. And in short, this paper is practically a property of a journal house, although there are some conditions that allow the author to use some of the data or some sorts of information from the paper for future research and publication, but all depend on the journal houses. These kind of journals are advantageous to the author who does not have a funding for publication and whose institution do not fund publication, in that he can be able to submit his paper for the publication freely. But the biggest disadvantage in this journal is that the reading of people reading the paper are limited, because you need to get a subscription to the journal house, or your institution as subscribed to the journal house before somebody can read. So the spread of the results or the journal is limited for some few years. In that also, people coming from countries or institutions where they don't have available fund to subscribe in this kind of journal don't get access to these published papers. So that brought about the second type of journal, which is termed the open access journals. In the open access journal, there are two types of open access journal. The first type of open access journals are the author doesn't bear any costs, and then the reader also doesn't bear any cost. So both the author and the reader can have access to the publication free of charge. And these kind of journals are basically governmental journals and institutional journals where you don't pay anything to publish, and those who are reading also don't pay anything to get access to read your paper. And hence, this is the journal that promotes free access of information and research, and that in a short possible time, your published paper will reach a lot of people. The other part of the open access journal is when the author or his institution pays for the publication costs, and the reader have access to these published papers free of charge. This is helpful to institutions where they have a publication fund, or where the author himself or herself or the group or the team have won a research grant, and that they have allocated money for this kind of publication. And it helps their paper to get noticed within the shortest possible time. And they have a lot of control of their paper and the information or published information and images and data within their paper. So this is what we term by the open access journals. And then when we go to the third type of journal based on the cost sharing, we have what we call the hybrid journals. In the hybrid journals, both the subscription and the open access manuscript is accepted in the same journal and published in the same journal, which is when you see a publication or a journal that operates on hybrid journal, you can find some of the papers are free of charge and some you have to pay before you have access to it. And now, majority of the journal houses are operating hybrid form of publication, and that help to get customers, different type of customers to publish in your journal. So in this short video, I was able to explain the different type of academic journals available based on different parameters. And that, as a researcher or a student, before you send your manuscript for publication, you need to consider the type of journal you want to publish your work in. Are you going for the solicited journals, of which you have to wait, or till when the theme of your paper is being called for publication before you submit? Or if you are personally directly invited to publish, or you go for the unsolicited journal where you can submit your paper no matter the theme of your paper to the display, to your academic display, and that you have a chance of getting a publication? Or do you have the funding to support the costs of the publication or not? If you have the funding, you can choose open access. So even if you don't have the fund for open access publication, there are still open access journals that don't require from you any money to publish in that journal. And you have to do research and find in your display the type of these journals available so that you can submit your work. Or you better also choose the easiest way, which is the subscription that majority of researchers publish their manuscript in. Thank you for your time and attention, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. You may comment, like this video. If you have not subscribed to this video, please do well to click the subscription so that you can see my future videos. See you next time.